Hey guys, today I'm going to share with you my favorite side dishes, which is cheesy scalloped potatoes and roasted balsamic Brussels sprouts. And they're both so delicious, I guarantee they're all going to be eaten during your holiday feast. So let's get started. First things first, I'm going to get started on our cheesy scalloped potatoes. These scalloped potatoes are super creamy, they're cheesy, they're all the good stuff that you're going to want during your holiday season. And I'm gonna show you guys a simple cooking method that's gonna cut your time in half. So I'm keeping this recipe very basic. I'm gonna go and shred up 2.5 cups of sharp cheddar cheese, but you can use whatever cheese that you like. You could add Parmesan, Gruyere, mozzarella. So yes, you can use a blend of any cheeses that you like, but I am keeping it very basic, and I always have sharp cheddar cheese in the fridge. Like I'm always making quesadillas, grilled cheese, nachos for my kids, so I'm sticking with sharp cheddar cheese today, and it's really delicious. I've also made it with aged white cheddar cheese, and that came out really delicious as well. Okay, so this is about 2.5 cups of shredded cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and gather the rest of the ingredients that we're going to be needing. Our scalloped potatoes is gonna be cooking in 2 cups of heavy cream. You don't wanna use milk or half and half. You wanna use full fat, heavy cream for this recipe because we're not using any flour and we don't want our scalloped potatoes to be watery. So I know this is going to be a very rich and indulgent dish, but it's not like we're eating scalloped potatoes every day, right? And then we're gonna also be needing 1 tablespoon of butter and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. If you don't have nutmeg, I happen to have it. It's totally fine. It does add a little bit of flavor, but if you don't have it, it's totally fine. You can leave it out. So I'm gonna go ahead and get our cream warmed. Go ahead and meet me over at the stove. Okay, so I have my pan here. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat to medium high, and I'm gonna pour in the heavy cream. And to the heavy cream, I'm gonna add in 1/2 teaspoon of salt and some pepper. And I'm also going to add in 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And like I mentioned, you could go ahead and leave it out if you don't have any. Sometimes cream sauces do call for nutmeg. It just gives it a nice flavor. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring the sauce to a boil. And once it comes to a boil, I'm gonna quickly work on our potatoes. I know a lot of scalloped potato recipes do call for a mandolin slicer, but I wanted to show you guys that you could also do this by hand, which is what I'm going to do today. So I wanted to make this simple enough for any of you who don't own a mandolin slicer to go ahead and make this recipe. So, but if you do have one, feel free to go ahead and use it. So I went ahead and peeled 2.5 pounds of potatoes, and I just soaked them in water to prevent them from browning because I did prep my ingredients earlier. And I'm gonna go ahead and just slice them really thinly, probably about 1/8 of an inch thick. And I'm gonna do this really quickly because I don't want our potatoes to brown. Okay, so now that I'm done giving my arm a workout and I prepped all the other ingredients, we're ready to get cooking. So go ahead and meet me over at the stove. Okay, so I have my cast iron skillet heated to medium-high heat. I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of butter. And once it's melted, I'm gonna go ahead and add in our potatoes. And you could just place them on here. You don't have to arrange them perfectly. It doesn't matter. Just kind of scatter them around so that it creates a nice even layer. Then I'm gonna go ahead and season this layer with some salt and pepper. Then I'm gonna sprinkle over 1/2 of the shredded cheese. Then in goes the rest of the potatoes. Then I'm gonna go ahead and season this layer with some salt and pepper. Then in goes the cream. Now I'm gonna go ahead and lower the heat to medium-low, and then I'm gonna cover and let it cook for 5 minutes. And this is really gonna reduce our cooking time in half because if I just cook the scalloped potatoes in the oven, it'll take well over an hour. So this is a nice little trick. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and add in the rest of our shredded cheddar cheese. Okay, so I'm gonna turn off the heat. I have my oven heated to 425 degrees. I'm gonna bake this for about 30 minutes. Okay, so now that the scalloped potatoes is roasting in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and work on our balsamic Brussels sprouts. So we are gonna need 1/4 cup of olive oil. I like to use extra virgin olive oil for this recipe. And then I'm also going to be needing 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. And 2 tablespoons of honey. The balsamic vinegar is gonna give it a nice tangy flavor, and the honey is gonna provide some sweetness. It's gonna be so yummy. And I'm gonna go ahead and mix it until it's well combined. Okay, so here I have 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts that I trimmed and sliced in half, and I'm gonna go ahead and place them onto a baking sheet. And Brussels sprouts are a great veggie side dish to have for your Thanksgiving meal. I mean, I've made green bean casserole before, but I feel like I'm the only one that eats it. But I know when I make Brussels sprouts, my family is guaranteed to devour this. I probably even need to double this recipe because my hubby and my 2 boys, well, my older son loves Brussels sprouts, can just eat this right up. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour the sauce all over the Brussels sprouts. And then I'm gonna season it well with some salt and pepper. Wanna get this nice and seasoned. My hubby and I actually went out to dinner for our anniversary recently, and I ordered Brussels sprouts as an appetizer for myself, and he ended up eating the whole thing. Well, not eating, I had some of it, but he loved it so much, he did not stop eating it. So we do love Brussels sprouts. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of stir it around so that it's well coated with all the seasonings and the balsamic vinegar and olive oil. And then I'm not gonna stir this halfway. We're just gonna go ahead and flip all the Brussels sprouts so that they're facing down and that they roast nice and evenly. Okay, so now all of them are facing down. I have my oven preheated to 425 degrees. This will take about 20 to 25 minutes to get nice and roasted up. So go ahead and meet me over at the oven. Oh my goodness, look how great these turned out, guys. The cheese is nice, golden, and bubbly. Can't wait to dig in. Okay, 25 minutes has passed and it's time to check up on our Brussels sprouts. Oh my goodness. Yum. These Brussels sprouts look nice and crispy and perfectly roasted. These really are the most perfect dishes to add to your Thanksgiving feast. And they both look so good. I don't know which one to taste first. Okay, I think I'll go with the scalloped potatoes first. All right, got some potatoes. They're nice and cheesy and creamy. They are the perfect potato dish. They're rich, they're creamy, they're so indulgent. It's so delicious. Let's go in for the balsamic roasted Brussels sprouts. You just can't go wrong with Brussels sprouts. So yummy. Make this for your family during the holidays. I guarantee they're gonna love it. Thank you for spending time with me in my kitchen. I hope you guys have the best Thanksgiving ever. And if you guys haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.